Friends is more than just a sitcom, it's a cultural phenomenon that defined a generation. From 1994 to 2004, it delivered 10 seasons of laughter, love, and unforgettable memories. While the 6 main cast members became household names, the show also featured a wide range of talented supporting actors and guest stars who added depth and humor to the beloved series. Sadly, over the years, several of these actors have passed away, leaving behind stories of talent lost too soon. In this video, we look back at the lives and careers of the Friends actors who have tragically died. Join us as we honor their memory and revisit the moments that made them a part of Friends history forever. Matthew Perry was born on August 19, 1969, and portrayed Chandler Bing in 1994 at age 25. Chandler was the quick-witted cynic masking deep insecurities, embodying both comic relief and emotional fragility. Behind the scenes, Perry's meteoric rise was eclipsed by a devastating descent into opioid and alcohol addiction. At one point, he was taking up to 55 Vicodin a day, disappearing from entire seasons of Friends while still physically present on set. His weight wildly fluctuated, his memory faded, and tensions with producers grew. He once admitted he couldn't recall filming 3 entire seasons. In his personal life, Perry bounced between high-profile but short-lived relationships, haunted by commitment fears like his character. He proposed multiple times, none stuck. His 2021 memoir exposed bitter regrets and suicide attempts, revealing years of agony hidden behind his sitcom grin. Rumors swirled of diva behavior, rehab stints mid-filming, and hostile outbursts during drug-fueled spirals. Perry died on October 28, 2023, at 54 from the acute effects of ketamine. Mike Hagerty was born on May 10, 1954, and joined Friends in 1995 as Mr. Trigger at age 41. Trigger, the surly but lovable super, offered a gritty, working-class counterpoint to the show's polished Manhattan cast. Off-camera, Hagerty was a fixture of American character acting but never escaped the confines of typecasting. Despite working on hits like Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, insiders whispered he was frequently overlooked due to his unapologetically unglamorous look and heavy accent. Though beloved by peers, he remained stuck in supporting roles, and frustrations brewed. His death shocked even close collaborators. He died on April 29, 2022, at 67 from complications related to an adverse reaction to antibiotics, reportedly stemming from delayed medical treatment. Whispers later surfaced about untreated chronic pain and growing disillusionment with Hollywood's obsession with youth and perfection, which often edged out talents like Hagerty. James Michael Tyler was born on May 28, 1962, and played Gunther in Friends beginning in 1994 at age 32. Gunther was a silent observer, his bleached hair and deadpan stares forming an eerie emotional backdrop to the main group's antics. Though the character was comic relief, Tyler's real life was marked by a silent personal tragedy. Despite appearing in nearly 150 episodes, he remained uncredited for years and felt deeply overlooked, both professionally and personally. Off-screen, Tyler endured a quietly painful existence. He kept his 2018 stage 4 prostate cancer diagnosis secret for 3 years. Friends insiders later revealed he had tried repeatedly to break into larger roles but was typecast and dismissed as background filler. Tyler's final appearance via video call in the 2021 reunion was heartbreaking, visibly gaunt, yet still exuding that same quiet, loyal energy. He never spoke publicly about rumored rejections, industry snubs, or the isolation he felt as the forgotten friend. He died on October 24, 2021, at age 59 from prostate cancer. Ron Leeman, born October 11, 1937, began portraying Dr. Leonard Green in 1996 at age 59. Leonard was an overbearing, caustic father figure, abrasive yet somehow endearing. Leeman mirrored that intensity off-screen. A titan of stage and screen, he carried a reputation for volatility. Though he won a Tony and an Emmy, colleagues described him as intimidating and occasionally tyrannical on set. He fiercely guarded his personal life but had once endured a bitter, public divorce in the 1980s that derailed his career temporarily. Married later to actress Jessica Walter, their union was marked by power clashes and long silences, according to friends. Leeman clashed with producers, insisting on creative control even for minor guest roles. In later years, he resented being remembered primarily as Rachel's dad, feeling it cheapened his craft. Despite his talent, many in the industry avoided casting him, fearing his explosive temper and towering ego. He died on December 6, 2019, at 82 from complications of pneumonia. Max Wright, born August 2, 1943, appeared in 1994 at age 51 as Terry, the gruff Central Perk manager. On screen for mere moments, his disdain for the gang was palpable, and off-screen, his bitterness ran deeper. Wright battled demons long before Friends. He survived a bout of lymphoma in the 90s, but darker secrets haunted him. In 2001, tabloid photos emerged of Wright allegedly smoking crack cocaine in a drug den. Reports of hidden encounters with homeless men surfaced, rumors he never addressed, adding a layer of mystery and pain to his life. He retreated from acting soon after, battling shame and reclusion. His time on Alf, once his claim to fame, had ended badly, with him openly calling it a nightmare and admitting he couldn't wait for it to end. Behind the image of the stern cafe boss was a man spiraling from illness, addiction, and unspoken identity struggles. Max Wright died on June 26, 2019, aged 75, from cancer. Janette Miller, born July 30, 1932, portrayed the elderly woman in a 1998 Friends episode at the age of 66. Her character exuded warmth, but Miller's personal narrative carried far colder undertones. Despite decades in the industry, Miller was never fully embraced. Rumors persisted that she was difficult to direct and resistant to feedback. She'd walk off sets mid-scene or flat-out refuse rewrites, which led to her being quietly replaced in multiple projects. Her romantic life was equally complex. Never married, she had several tumultuous relationships with much younger actors and was once sued by a former partner for emotional abuse and financial manipulation, a case settled out of court and scrubbed from public record. She was known to hoard possessions obsessively and had a reputation among neighbors for bizarre nighttime behavior and verbal altercations. In her final years, she struggled with paranoia, allegedly convinced that former colleagues were plotting against her. Janette Miller died on November 4, 2016, at 84, her legacy clouded by unspoken bitterness and unresolved feuds. Shelly Berman, born February 3, 1925, took on the role of Mr. Kaplan Jr. in Friends in 1996 at age 71. Though best remembered for his neurotic characters and pioneering stand-up style, Berman's backstage life was defined by volatility. His fame in the 1960s imploded after a legendary breakdown caught on tape. He was infamously recorded berating a stagehand with profanity and threats, a scandal that nearly ended his career overnight. Known for his hypersensitivity, Berman banned critics from shows and once punched a fan who asked for an autograph mid-meal. His marriage was stormy. While it lasted over 60 years, insiders claimed it survived more from codependency than love. He was widely resented by younger comics, many of whom accused him of gatekeeping and sabotaging their chances. His students from acting classes later recounted terrifying tirades and verbal humiliation under the guise of method. Despite these dark legacies, Berman clung to relevance in his final years through sporadic roles and interviews. He died on September 1, 2017, at 92, from complications of Alzheimer's. Ron Glass was born on July 10, 1945, and portrayed the poised divorce lawyer Russell in a 1999 Friends episode at age 54. Known for calm authority on screen, Glass led a far more tumultuous life behind closed doors. His spiritual devotion to Buddhism contrasted starkly with decades-long whispers of emotional manipulation in personal relationships. Though never married, Glass had several long-term partners, many of whom later described him as intensely controlling and prone to gaslighting. Professionally, his career hit unexpected plateaus after being quietly dropped from promising projects without explanation. Speculation often linked these exits to his unwillingness to compromise or collaborate. He was accused of fostering toxic environments on set through passive-aggressive silence and spiritual elitism, making castmates uncomfortable with unsolicited philosophical corrections. One former co-star once labeled him the nicest sociopath I ever met. Though he was never publicly disgraced, Glass died on November 25, 2016, at 71 from respiratory failure. Gregory Peck, born April 20, 1948, joined Friends in 2002 as Theodore Hannigan, Mike's uptight, judgmental father, when he was 54. Though his character was insufferably rigid, Peck's real-life contradictions ran deeper. Often described as too intense even in casual settings, he was notorious for monopolizing rehearsals with lengthy monologues and uninvited script notes. Some directors refused to work with him more than once, citing manipulative tactics and an ego that dwarfed even his most powerful characters. Behind the scenes, Peck allegedly pressured producers into expanding his minor roles, leveraging favors and invoking connections that eventually dried up. While married with children, insiders reported a double life involving secret relationships and emotional affairs, including one alleged long-term involvement with a fellow actor's spouse, something that, once discovered, nearly led to a physical altercation on set. Despite outward professionalism, he cultivated quiet enemies in every crew. Gregory Peck died on July 8, 2022, at 74, following complications during emergency surgery. Paxton Whitehead was born on October 17, 1937, and played Mr. Waltham, Emily's rigid British father, in 1998 at age 61. His character was the quintessential uptight Englishman, stern, formal, and humorously disapproving of Ross, adding a cold, aristocratic tension that heightened the storyline. Whitehead's distinguished stage career earned him acclaim, but his forays into Hollywood revealed a darker side. Despite his classical training, he faced repeated setbacks. Industry insiders whispered about his difficult reputation, accusations of being controlling and inflexible on set, which led to him being unofficially blacklisted from bigger TV roles. Behind closed doors, his personal life was far from serene. His estranged relationship with his only child was a long-standing, painful secret that few knew. Reports also suggested he struggled with alcohol dependency, which worsened his social isolation in later years. These shadows contrasted sharply with his elegant public image. Paxton Whitehead died on June 16, 2023, aged 85, following complications from a prolonged illness. Mary Pat Gleason was born on February 23, 1950, and played Nurse Sizemore in 1994 at 44. Her character's stern but nurturing nature mirrored her real-life struggles with bipolar disorder, which she courageously revealed, becoming an advocate for mental health awareness. However, Gleason's private life was tumultuous: multiple failed marriages, public divorces, and a highly publicized estrangement from her only daughter, who accused her of emotional neglect and absence. Colleagues recalled her unpredictable moods on set, sometimes explosive, causing tension and delays in production. Despite her Emmy-winning writing career and over 100 screen credits, Gleason's battles with mental illness and addiction haunted her professional and personal life. Her openness about these challenges made her a rare, honest voice in Hollywood but couldn't shield her from loneliness. Mary Pat Gleason died on June 2, 2020, aged 70, after a battle with cancer. Audrey Lindley was born on September 24, 1918, and played Frances, Phoebe's grandmother, in 1995 at age 77. Her character's eccentric warmth masked a far more complex reality. Lindley's celebrated career was overshadowed by persistent rumors of heavy drinking and a notorious on-set altercation in the 1970s, involving a physical confrontation with a fellow actor that studio executives went to great lengths to conceal. Her personal life was marred by a painful, highly publicized divorce, which left her financially strained and emotionally vulnerable in her later years. Despite her iconic status, insiders described her as notoriously demanding and difficult, fostering resentment among colleagues. She struggled with loneliness and health problems that worsened toward the end of her life. Audrey Lindley died from complications of leukemia on October 16, 1997, aged 79, leaving behind a legacy marked by both glamour and personal shadows. Camille Saviola was born on July 16, 1950, and took on the memorable Horrible Woman in 1994 at 44. Her brash, commanding screen presence hid a troubled reality. Camille secretly battled chronic alcoholism and a debilitating gambling addiction that drained her earnings and strained her closest relationships. Industry insiders reported frequent public outbursts fueled by substance abuse, leading to a reputation as volatile and hard to work with. Her marriage ended in acrimony, marked by accusations of infidelity and bitter legal disputes over finances that made tabloid headlines. Despite her talent and strong presence in New York theater, Camille fiercely guarded her privacy, rarely commenting on these scandals. Her struggles remained largely hidden from fans until her death on October 28, 2021, at age 71, from undisclosed causes, leaving behind a legacy of both brilliance and turmoil. Beverly Garland was born on October 17, 1926, and portrayed Aunt Iris on Friends in 1995 at age 69. Aunt Iris brought a nostalgic warmth to the show, embodying the quirky, endearing family figure that perfectly complemented the group's dynamic. Garland's career was pioneering, famously the first woman to star in a dramatic TV series, Decoy, 1957, yet her later life was clouded by struggles rarely publicized. Despite her polished public image, Garland faced significant tension managing her Beverly Garland Holiday Inn, where former employees alleged a volatile temperament and harsh disciplinary methods. Rumors circulated about strained family relationships, especially a reportedly distant relationship with her children, fueling speculation that her dedication to career and business came at a personal cost. Hollywood insiders also whispered of early career blacklisting after conflicts with studio heads, which delayed some of her projects. Beverly Garland passed away on December 5, 2008, aged 82, after a prolonged illness. Stan Kersh was born July 15, 1968, and appeared as Ethan in Friends in 1995 at age 27. Ethan's role, a seemingly innocent high schooler dating Monica, belied Kersh's turbulent off-screen reality. After a promising start with Highlander, the series, his career spiraled amid recurring mental health struggles and industry rejection, with rumors of difficult behavior and mood swings on set. Behind closed doors, Kersh's personal life was fraught with controversy, multiple failed relationships, allegations of emotional abuse, and estrangement from family members painted a picture of profound instability. Some close acquaintances reported his battles with depression intensified by isolation and unmet expectations. Friends and colleagues occasionally spoke of his erratic moods and sudden withdrawal, hinting at struggles with addiction and untreated mental illness. His tragic suicide on January 11, 2020, aged 51, shocked the acting community and laid bare the darkness that often lurked behind his charming facade, making his death a painful reminder of Hollywood's hidden toll. Willie Garson was born February 20, 1964, and appeared as Steve on Friends in 1999 at age 35. His quirky and slightly awkward character was a small but memorable part of the show, but Garson's life off-screen was far more complex. Despite a prolific career spanning hundreds of TV episodes, Garson was known in Hollywood circles for his difficult personality, including clashes with co-stars and a reputation for micromanaging his roles. His personal life held deeper shadows. Sources reveal a complicated adoption process that involved protracted legal battles and emotional strain, which he rarely discussed publicly. Friends close to him reported struggles with anxiety and episodes of substance misuse, often hidden beneath his jovial public persona. Though a devoted father and active philanthropist, Garson's private struggles revealed a man wrestling with insecurities and a fierce desire for control amid personal chaos. Willie Garson died from pancreatic cancer on September 21, 2021, aged 57, leaving fans mourning a deeply talented but conflicted figure. Peter Dennis was born October 25, 1933, and took the role of Sherman Whitfield in Friends in 1996 at age 61. His character added a refined British touch, but Dennis's own life revealed a more troubled narrative. Despite his celebrated voice work and theatrical acclaim, Dennis struggled to secure steady work in a competitive industry that often overlooked character actors his age. Insiders recall his growing bitterness over a series of professional rejections and a falling out with his agent, which reportedly severed key opportunities. Behind the genteel exterior, family sources hinted at a strained and distant relationship with his only daughter, marked by years of silence and missed connections. He reportedly battled bouts of loneliness and regret over personal sacrifices made for his career. While he avoided public scandal, friends noted a simmering melancholy that shadowed his later years. Peter Dennis succumbed to cancer on April 18, 2009, aged 75, leaving behind a quietly poignant legacy entwined with unfulfilled potential and personal isolation. Konad Ferrell was born March 28, 1943, and played the judge on Friends in 1999 at age 56. Her stern, authoritative character reflected the tough roles she was known for, but Ferrell's real life was marked by persistent battles with typecasting and health challenges. Industry insiders recall her growing frustration over being pigeonholed as the gruff woman, which she openly expressed in rare interviews. Behind the scenes, Ferrell endured a bitter divorce that left her emotionally isolated, and close friends mention a sharp temper and frequent clashes with cast members that fueled rumors of backstage drama. She also faced chronic health problems for years, which she managed privately but that reportedly impacted her ability to work steadily later in life. Despite her public image of strength and wit, those close to her reveal a woman who carried loneliness and pain beneath her tough exterior. Konad Ferrell passed away from cardiac arrest on October 12, 2020, aged 77, ending a career defined by resilience shadowed by personal hardship. Elena Reed Hall was born on November 10, 1946, and appeared as the admissions woman in Friends in 1995 at the age of 49. Her character was composed and professional, reflecting the steady presence she often brought to her work, especially in groundbreaking children's shows like 227 and Sesame Street. Despite being respected professionally, she was often sidelined by Hollywood's systemic racism, which limited her chances to break into leading roles. The most painful chapter in her personal life was the loss of her husband, Kevin Peter Hall, who died from AIDS-related complications, a topic that was taboo at the time and shrouded in silence. She endured this loss with remarkable strength but was haunted by the stigma and isolation that surrounded the disease. Moreover, Reed Hall faced the quiet battle of raising her family while grappling with the pressures of a career that often failed to recognize her talents. Rumors suggest she dealt privately with bouts of depression and exhaustion, never publicly disclosed. Her battle with breast cancer ended her life on December 17, 2009, at 63. Lillian Chaun was born on August 6, 1925, and portrayed Grandma Tribbiani in Friends in 1999 at 74, lending a stern yet loving presence to Joey's family. Chauvin's career was marked by excellence in both acting and coaching, where she was respected for her rigorous standards and sharp intellect. Yet her personal life was marked by deep sorrow. The loss of her only child cast a long shadow of grief that she rarely discussed publicly. Though her reputation was largely scandal-free, Behind the scenes, Chauvin was known for her demanding and sometimes harsh demeanor, which alienated some younger actors and colleagues. Her relentless pursuit of perfection masked struggles with depression and a sense of isolation in an industry dominated by younger talent. She lived through decades of personal sacrifice and hardship, with whispers of battles against loneliness and regret permeating private circles. Chauvin died on June 26, 2008, at 82 from breast cancer and heart disease, her legacy one of brilliance tinged with quiet personal pain. Taylor Negron was born on August 1, 1957, and played the arrogant restaurant owner Alessandro in Friends in 1997 at age 40. His character was flamboyant, sarcastic, and sharply witty, providing a counterbalance to Monica's driven nature. Negron's off-screen life, however, revealed a darker contrast. Known for his eccentric comedic style and artistic talents, he struggled privately with alcohol abuse that steadily worsened over the years. Despite a career sprinkled with cult favorites, Negron frequently clashed with producers and colleagues due to his unpredictable behavior and volatile mood swings. His personal life was equally unstable, marked by a series of failed relationships and whispered scandals of infidelity and substance use. Though he never faced public legal troubles, insiders noted his reputation as difficult to work with, often alienating those around him. His liver cancer diagnosis, stemming from years of self-destructive habits, was kept largely private until his death on January 10, 2015, at 57, marking the end of a life filled with creative brilliance shadowed by personal demons. Gary Collins was born on April 30, 1938, and appeared as himself on Friends in 1998 at 60, bringing a polished charm to the screen. Despite his smooth television persona as an Emmy-winning talk show host, Collins' private life revealed more turmoil. His 2007 DUI arrest shocked many, exposing struggles with alcohol addiction that contrasted sharply with his public image. Behind closed doors, Collins faced acrimonious divorces and public disputes with family members, leading to estrangement from his children. His professional decline was marked by tensions with producers and fading popularity, resulting in fewer opportunities and growing bitterness. Rumors circulated about his abrasive temperament and control issues on set, further isolating him from peers. Although he remained involved in philanthropic causes, Collins' final years were clouded by loneliness and regret. He died of natural causes on October 13, 2012, at 74, leaving behind a legacy complicated by private battles with addiction and fractured relationships. Buck Kartalian was born August 13, 1922, and appeared as Frankie in Friends in 1995 at 73, remembered for his tough, gruff character roles. Despite a lengthy career spanning over 6 decades, Kartalian was often trapped by typecasting as the tough guy, which frustrated his desire for more diverse parts. Off-screen, he endured significant personal pain, including a marriage fraught with tension and the heartbreaking addiction of a child, a secret he fiercely protected from public view. While Kartalian avoided major scandals, his colleagues recalled his stubbornness and occasional clashes stemming from his perfectionism and frustration with Hollywood's limitations for character actors of his generation. He managed to maintain a dry sense of humor and humility, yet privately battled loneliness and regrets over lost opportunities. He died peacefully from natural causes on May 24, 2016, aged 93, leaving behind a legacy shadowed by unspoken family struggles and an indelible presence in cult cinema. Who's your favorite character in Friends? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.